Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's get started with today's problem of the day. So today's problem of the day is find pairs with given sum in a doubly linked list. So we are given a sorted doubly linked list of positive distinct integers. So our task is to find pairs in a doubly linked list whose sum is equal to given value target. For example, if we are given a doubly linked list 1, then 2, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 8, then 9, and the target is 7, then we need to find the pairs from this linked list such that the sum is equal to the target. For example, here we can have pairs 1 and 6 because 1 plus 6 will be 7. Similarly, we can have another pair as 2 and 5 because 2 plus 5 is also 7. So there cannot be any other pairs except 1 comma 6 and 2 comma 5. So these two will be my answer. So similarly, you can check out this example also, where 1, 5 and 6 is the doubly linked list and the target is 6. So in that case, only one pair is possible with 1 and 5. So to solve this question, we can use the concept of hashing. So how to solve this problem? Let's say we just create a hash table or a hash map. Let's call it hash. So initially what we need to do, we will just store all the, because since they are distinct, so we can just store in our hash table if it is present in a linked list or not. So we can just create a node, star node pointing to our head, and now we can iterate over this doubly linked list and store and hash all the values present in our linked list. So while we can say node is not null, what we need to do, we can simply say that we need to hash the data of node, and then we can just move on to the next node. So now that we have hashed all these values, all we need to do is we just need to check for the pairs. So how to do that? For that we can just create another hash table to check if we have considered that element in our pair before or not. So let's create another hash table to mark this as visited if we have considered that in our pair which we are going to choose or not. And also let's create finally what we need to return, the vector of pair of int. So let's create this answer. In this we will store the pairs which we need to return. Okay, so now we will make node as the head, and now all we need to do is that we need to check if this thing exists. Again we will just iterate over the list. So while node is not null, one thing which we need to do is we need to iterate to the next node, that is known as nodes next. Now before that we need to implement something like, what we need to implement, we need to check if a pair can be formed using current element of the linked list, of doubly linked list. So here we need to check. So how can we check? We can just check it by if hash of the target. So because suppose we are at a node, and so at that node we will have some value. Now if we need to check the target is possible by having a pair, then all we need to do is that check if target minus the current element, if that exists, that means we can have a pair. And also in this there can be two cases. One case could be that okay, since they are all distinct elements, so if our target is even, then uh, this the both the elements should be either even or both the elements should be odd. But if our target is odd, then both the one should be even and one should be odd. So what if we have something like nodes data, if the target is double of nodes data, like if we have suppose target as 4 and let's say the node data is 2, so in that case what will be the conclusion? That in our hash table we should be having 2. Let us assume we have 2, then uh, if we have 2, then we can say that if 2 exists, then target minus node of target, if hash of, so 4 minus 2 is also 2, so we will think that 2 also exists, but 2 exists only once, so this pair cannot exist. So we need to check if target minus nodes data is not equals to nodes data, only then we need to consider this. So in that case what we can say, there should be two more conditions, that these two elements, the current node and the target minus node, should not be visited either. So if not visited, node data, and we have also not considered a target minus node data, only then we can choose both of them. So in that case what we will do, we can simply consider this element in our answer. So in answer we need to return it like so we can just push this in our answer. So we can just say answer dot push back the nodes data, and the second element will be target minus nodes data, and then we can mark both of these elements as visited. So if since we have pushed both of them, we can mark both of them as visited. So target minus node of data will also be marked as visited. And then so that's all that we need to check, I believe. If hash of target minus nodes data this exists, then target minus node of data, that is the second element, should not be equal to the first element. And what else? That both of the elements should not be visited. Okay, that's all that we need to do. So now we should be having our answer ready, so we can simply return the answer. Alright, So now if I compile and run this code, our answer is -1. Something is wrong. Let's check. Okay, the hash of node of data should be 1. Okay, so let's check it now. Okay, it's working. Now let's check the second case. So 5 1 2 3 4. Let's try out this case. So let the target be 7. Let the elements be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 1 2 4 5 10 6 8 and 9. Let's try running this case. Okay, so it's getting correct. Now let's try submitting this code. And we solved this problem. So I hope you understood this approach, and if you did not, you can always rewind the video and make sure to hit the like button if you understood the problem, and keep coding. And I will see you next time.